Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Moon square to Saturn in the composite chart or the Davison relationship chart. So the chart of the relationship itself, based on the midpoints of the two birth charts, that's the composite chart, or the actual midpoint in time between the two birth dates, that's how you erect the Davison chart. So this aspect in a composite chart can be quite a downer. Now, it doesn't usually stop relationships from forming. It actually really gets them, or sorry, gives them the sense that they need to be together, they need to come together for whatever reason. Moon Saturn aspects in general, but also in the composite chart, have this eerie feeling of fatedness and there's work here to be done. There can be a lot of, too, especially with the square, inner child feelings coming up to be worked on, and it just really feels like this person is meant to be someone significant in your life. I've actually heard stories of this aspect though where initially or instantly the first intuition when meeting this person was like, oh no, this is a negative karmic person. That could have been because of other things going on, but I do also know they had this aspect. So it could be initially like a negative response of like, oh, there's karma here, or there's just definitely a strong response and an emotional response that there's something to be worked out here. This is a relationship that you want to at least figure out what's going on. Now, interestingly enough, and I don't want to sound too negative because I truly think any aspect can be worked out, nothing is insurmountable. I have seen this aspect in otherwise, the best composite charts I've ever seen, so strong, so powerful, just out of this world amazing compatibility in the composite chart, but then containing this square, and the two people could just not do it. It may have lasted for 10 years, but as far as the living together, the day to day, it was just not manageable. It's not easy to live together with this square, which is very different than the conjunction or the even the opposition, where it's very common in long-term couples that seem to be impossible to break up even if they are unhappy. This one, it's like when you feel unhappy, you just don't want to do the work anymore after a certain point of time. It seems to be too exhausting. Or, you know what I've noticed with squares to Saturn in the composite chart is it really feels burdensome at times being in the relationship. And, other times maybe it feels very purposeful. It feels very much like you need to be there. But that feeling of a heavy weight and burden on you is very hard to let go of. And in this case, with this square, it's an emotional feeling. It's a feeling that you can't connect emotionally to this person, or maybe if you try to, they end up hurting your feelings. And this can show up in relationships where over years, over time, accumulated hurt and heart chakra energy, closing down over a long period. It definitely can be very hard to be with someone who at times feels like an emotional alien. And we can also feel like, because the moon is the combined emotional energies, but it's also like the combined emotional fulfillment energy, what you need to do as a couple to feel emotionally fulfilled. With Saturn square that, it feels impossible to get your emotional needs met. Like this person is directly getting in the way of you feeling emotionally secure. And so you'll see the moon in the composite chart, if it's very unfavorably aspected, or with a lot of tense aspects to it without others to lighten the load, emotionally, the couple, they just don't feel good emotionally together. Maybe they have a strong sun and they feel more active and energetic, and their egos feel fed, but emotionally they feel shut down. So this one square can be quite the big energy of burden and negativity. Now, it doesn't have to be though. It can work out. If there's other, good aspects to moon, that will be like an outlet, right? If, there's like moon trine Neptune or something, that would really help alleviate some of this and then bring that feeling of magic and bring that feeling of like hope and like spiritual connection, soul connection with your partner. Because this one on its own is very, very heavy. But it does, like all Saturn aspects, it seems to be that they are like the glue that makes relationships stick together. But for some reason, this square, sometimes the people just get fed up. It's like the minor annoyances add up over time because the moon is how we live together, how we combine energies as far as like our emotional connection, but also how we live together as far as like the fourth house, the moon, the home life. There's something here where there's tension, where we're disagreeing about how to have a home together. So that can end up being quite a difficult thing. But at the same time, it's impossible, or it can feel very impossible to let this person go. They're always still on your mind. They're always still like an energy cord. You need to do a cord cutting. If you break up with this aspect, you need to, more than once, you need to do a cord cutting here because it's so heavy, it's so karmic. I feel like it could be related to even a past life, like parent-child bond. When we have this aspect in the composite chart, it definitely shows that you have come together for the purpose of emotional healing. And I also do feel like part of the like purpose of this aspect in the composite chart is to let go of rigidity, like let go of like the Saturn need to be the one that's right and to demean and put each other down. It's like one of you, or definitely both of you, because this is the composite chart, need to really loosen your grip on each other and let go of that judgy parental energy and understand that you guys have different emotional needs and different purposes in life. In some ways, you are going in different directions. And if you can let each other do that and let each other go in these different directions and cut out the judginess and the also the blame game, blaming each other directly for your own unhappiness, your own misery, then this can work out because you do feel a deep bond and loyalty to this person. It's Saturn. You want to work it out. You want to work it out so bad. So don't let that one petty argument, that last straw, break this up. If the rest of your composite chart is strong and you have other aspects that show like you do have fun together, you do have a spiritual connection, a soul connection. This is just one aspect that you're going to have to work on, and it will be work. I feel like it's one of the harder aspects in the composite chart, but it's also very common in long-term relationships where we're blaming each other for our unhappiness. And what we need to do is recognize we have different emotional needs and we can meet those needs outside of each other. We don't need to be like forcing each other to try and be something that we're not in order to get everything we need out of this relationship. When Moon is square Saturn in the composite chart, you're not going to get everything you need out of this person. You're going to have to do your separate emotional soothing rituals or methods, whatever that may be. And, another big thing with this aspect is keeping that communication flow open. I don't know what Mercury is doing in your composite chart. That's going to help a lot if there's favorable aspects. But the last thing you want to do with this is let it all get bottled up inside. If you're feeling irritated, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like your partner is doing something that is emotionally hurting you, you have to speak it up in the moment and keep that flow going so you don't let it all get bottled up. And then that's when the tension over time will lead to this like insurmountable buildup of this energy of like just not being able to deal with this anymore. So if you can let it up in the moment, let it out, in the moment. Saturn is restrictions. When Saturn is square Moon in the composite chart, emotionally we can get restricted. We can close off to this person when really that's the last thing we want to do because we really care about them. And we really do feel this deep soul bond and loyalty that is like beyond this lifetime. We know we're here to work out some karma. The house placement of Moon and Saturn is going to show where this conflict is. Meditating on that, meditating on the houses can really help bring to light what it is that you guys need to work on for conflict resolution here, if this is worth resolving, because sometimes it won't be, but sometimes it will be. And I hope that this video has helped a little bit. Sending you all the love and hugs. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your requests. Keep your requests coming, you guys, in the comments, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.